Hi everyone and welcome to this brand new video. Today we're going to be looking together at the results of the April Strategy of the Month contest, so we'll see which strategy won as well as the selection of the most promising among all the strategies received. We'll also try to provide operational insights by analysing what logic underlies these strategies, in which markets they work and how they perform. We would like to remind you that the Strategy of the Month contest is reserved for Unger Academy students. Each month you can participate by submitting your own strategy and compete for a chance to win a €1,000 Amazon voucher. So hi, one of the coaches at the Unger Academy here, and as always before we begin, I invite you to please go and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already done so, leave us a like and of course click on the notification bell to stay updated on the release of all new videos and new content. Let's start right away with some very good strategies that didn't win, but still impressed us. Then at the end of the video, I'll show you the winning strategy, which I already anticipate is really very interesting. So let's start with the first strategy. It's a strategy on the Mini SP 500 future. It's a mean reverting strategy based on the high and the low of the previous day. Let's look at an example. We'll go short around the highs of the previous day and long around the lows of the previous day. Let's look at a long entry to get an idea. Here's how it works. From the moment there's a trend reversal, that is when around the low of the day before, I'll go long. This is a very simple strategy using the Unger Academy templates, so you need absolutely no programming skill to create this strategy. In addition to the stop loss and take profit, a time exit after N bars has also been included. Let's look in detail at the results we get with one contract. We can see that this is a really robust equity that is growing really well, especially on the long side. One of the things that's unique about this strategy is that it did not suffer much from the last year's downturn, where we know that the US stock market was pretty bearish. The short side, on the other hand, has not done much in the years the market has been going up. That's a very good thing because it means that the short side still works, but doesn't do any damage when the market goes up. However, it is needed, you can see here, when the market starts to go down, and that's when the short component starts to take a lot of the profits. If we look at the metrics, we have a very large average trade of over $400. Finally, I'd like to show you the annual overview where we had only one negative year in 2018. And I'll tell you right now that 2018 was a very complicated year in terms of trading the US equities indexes. And we would by no means force ourselves to try and make that strategy palatable this year as well. So I would say that part of the nature of this system is not to have done well in 2018. But look, especially in the last period, the returns of this strategy are really spectacular. I mean, in 2023, it's already making about $18,000 in profit. Let's move on to the next strategy, again on the stock index, this time, however, on the Nasdaq. Unlike the previous strategy, this is a breakout strategy. So let's say the opposite. We'll buy at the highs and sell at the lows. The reference this time is not the previous session, but the current session. So we'll buy on the break of the highs reached in the current session and sell on the lows reached in the current session. In addition to the prices, another level is added based on the average true range. So we have a second time frame here below, precisely of a daily nature. Let's look at the performance of this strategy, which is really good for a single contract. The average trade is over $450, which is unevenly distributed between long and short positions. In fact, the number of long positions outweighs the number of short positions. This characteristic is typical of this underlying. In fact, we'll notice that the long side does most of the work, while the short side has a trend that is more or less the same as the previous strategy. Finally, let's also look at the periodic returns year by year. Unlike the previous strategy, this strategy performed well in 2018. It did not do very well around 2010, but still showed very consistent returns. This strategy is also positive as of early 2023 and has reached almost $16,000. Commission, costs and slippage are not included, but the average trade is so abundant that there's really very little impact on performance. Finally, let's take a look at the winning strategy of the month of April, namely Luca's strategy that earned him €1,000 in Amazon vouchers. This is a strategy designed on the gold future, the gold commodity future. This is also a breakout strategy based on the breakout levels of Data 2. This is the same underlying, but built on 480-minute bars. This idea comes from a video we had published some time ago about developing trading systems on gold. I'll leave a link in the top right and below in the description. And it was this operational Q video that generated this excellent strategy that took first place in the rankings for the month of April. Let's take a look at the performances, which are really very interesting. We have a lot of trades, 1,800 trades, and an average trade of over $200. The performance is quite balanced. We have gains on both the long and the short sides with some continuity. The periodic returns are really good. There's no bad year, and as I told you, it's a strategy that works really, really well. In fact, the profit since the beginning of 2010, excluding costs and commissions, is almost $400,000. This is indeed a very interesting strategy. I'm glad to see that one of our operational insights has been followed, and I hope that these pointers will be helpful to you as well. Well, if your goal is to learn how to independently create trading strategies like the ones we've just seen, then you've come to the right place. In fact, while you're learning, you can also participate in this contest dedicated exclusively to Unger Academy students for a chance to win €1,000 of Amazon vouchers every month. If you want to learn more, I invite you to click on the link below in the description. The link will take you to a page where you can find the contest rules. From there, if you wish, you can book a free consultation with one of our tutors who will give you all the information you need. Finally, I'd like to remind you, if you've not already done so, subscribe to our channel, click on the notification bell to stay updated, and if you found the video useful, leave us a like. We'll see you soon with more videos on new operational insights and tips on systematic trading. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you soon.